Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kristen and today we're going to be reorganizing the pantry. I know a lot of us are looking for tasks to take on in our house right now, projects to reorganize, clean, declutter. So today I'm starting with the pantry. I feel like that's manageable to get done in hopefully a few hours, hopefully less. I organized this pantry about a year ago and since then it's kind of turned into this half organized, half unorganized, food just pushed in there. If you enjoy watching this pantry reorganization, definitely give this video a big thumbs up before we get started and let's go ahead and get organizing. Alright, so this is the state of the pantry at the moment. This is our main food cupboard. We also have a baking cupboard and a cereal cupboard that we are not going to be touching today. This is the main one that's looking pretty messy to me. I want to organize a little bit differently this time and use these white bins a little bit less. I found them a little hard to grow into, and when you look inside of the bins, they're just messy. So this time I want to have more of a flexible design, maybe organize a little bit more like a grocery store would, where you're stacking items, kind of categorizing food and making sure that there's room to grow. I'm also going to be doing all my organizing with bins and organizers I already have around the house. Since we aren't going out and we're staying home, let's use what we have and get started on our pantries. Alright, so the first shelf I wanted to tackle was the canned food shelf. I'm taking out all of the things that don't belong in that area and reorganizing this space. As you can see, I already have my shelf risers on this shelf here. I really love using these to organize cans because you can see everything, nothing really stands directly on top of each other, and it's just a really good way to be able to see everything that you have. So I'm just reorganizing all the cans here, trying to put everything together that is similar. So I have all my beans together, all of the mushroom, cream of soup kind of things, tomato soups, and just really categorizing things just like a grocery store would, and also making sure that all the labels are turned around and facing forward. That really makes the space look organized. It's just one small thing you can do that makes a really big difference. And then at the side here, I'm adding in jarred food like tomato sauce and jam and making sure that everything is facing forward. Another thing I like to do is make sure that I keep all the canned food and shelf risers towards the back of the shelf. This really allows extra space at the front to add more groceries into. If you go grocery shopping, there's definitely room to grow now. These shelf risers really make a big difference and allow you to use the height in your cupboard, so make sure you consider those when you're organizing your cans. Now moving on to the shelf above, I don't really have a plan going into this shelf, but I definitely know that I don't know what's in these baskets, so we're just going to start again, take everything off, and organize all the food on the floor so I can see what we have. So I'm taking out packaging that we don't need, taking hot chocolate packages, soup packages out of their box so we can save some space, and just reorganize all of this stuff, check if things are expired, and just go through everything. So I'm just categorizing everything that I have so I can make sure I put it all together. So to start this shelf off, I'm organizing a little soup section here. I have all of these box soups as well as little packaged Lipton soups, so I'm taking them out of the box and placing them into this clear container. That way I can see how many I have and we're not left with some empty boxes sitting in the pantry. You'll notice that I do have multiples of things in here because we have been doing some extra grocery shopping lately. So again, I'm following the same kind of pattern here, placing boxed food at the back and putting these small packages in clear containers, making sure that we can see every single thing that we have. I like to organize the pantry in levels like this, so canned food at the bottom are things that I don't normally grab at every day, and this more central shelf is things that I like to grab at often. So I'm planning to make this shelf more of the snack shelf. That might be a good thing, might not be a good thing because I'm letting it be very accessible, but I just love the way it looks when I have granola bars and snacks ready to grab at, and it just looks really pretty. So I'm starting again, coming up with a new layout, emptying out all of these baskets, and that will allow me to use these baskets in future projects when I'm organizing other spaces, so it's not a waste in that way. I'm going to be repurposing them for other areas of the home, but I'm going through everything that I have here, sorting them into different categories so I can start again. Alright, so I decided to bring in a clear container here and organize all of the snack bars. I have so many protein bars and granola bars and different types of snacks, and this is going to be its designated container. So everything is now out of its original box, and that's going to save us so much more space so we don't have empty boxes laying around. You can see how many you have and when you need to get more, and it's kind of like a little vending machine system. If you take one out, another one flows through, and it's just a really fun way of organizing. Another thing to add to the shelf is popcorn. We have 2 bags here, so I'm just placing those in front of each other and then using another clear container for some like miscellaneous snacks, peanut butter, hot chocolate packs, peanuts, just random things, and then moving our way up to this next shelf. This one is so cluttered, so this needs a lot of work. Alright, so for this shelf, I'm creating a little coffee corner here, putting in all these extra K-Cup pods into this nice jar that I have and placing all the extra refills behind it. That way it's a little bit more visual, packaging is hidden, and it's all staying together. I'm also keeping the taller vinegar and oil bottles over on the side there in their little container. That way if anything leaks, it all stays in there, and the shelf actually does have a little bit more height to it, so it really allows me to hold these larger items on this shelf. And for the middle, I'm placing some of my seasonings in here and making sure these smaller packages stay together in this clear container so nothing goes missing. I'm going to completely restart with this shelf right here. Things are stacked right to the top, falling all over the place, and it really needs to just start again. I have a ton of tea on this shelf, so I'm taking a lot of the tea packages out of the boxes and stacking them all up into this slim container. That way I can keep all the teas together. It makes it really accessible just to sift through all the different tea packages and find what you need. I'm also going to be making a small change and moving the coffee further up in the pantry. These are all of our extra coffee pods and not something we reach at daily, so I moved that further up and made sure that the tea is a little bit more accessible, especially because they're placed in these white containers. You need to be able to see into the container instead of them being further up. You forget what's inside of there. So everything is about accessibility and making sure that it works for you. Now moving on to this top shelf, I want to keep this top shelf a little bit more open so that there's room to grow. The only thing really up here is some Brita filters and some containers. So I'm just separating the lids from the bottoms, placing them in 2 different baskets so that you can just grab the entire basket, take what you need, and put it back. It's definitely not the fanciest way of organizing Tupperware, but it's definitely an upgrade over here. And lastly, I just wanted to clean up this bottom shelf right here. This is where we keep some extra appliances, and I want to keep this on this lower level like this because I don't want anything dangerous falling from a high level. So I'm just going to be putting all of these smaller appliances into these white bins. That way, just from the outside, it looks a little bit more organized and things aren't directly right on top of each other. All of the small appliances actually fit perfectly into these 2 white bins. So I just place them back on the shelf so that it gives a cleaner look. And that is my pantry completely reorganized. That only took about an hour or 2 to clean out this space, so if you guys need to tackle your pantry, definitely don't feel overwhelmed by it. You can do it really quickly, and it just makes you feel so much better reaching into there. I love that this time everything is not blocked by a bin or a basket. Things are a little bit more visual, a little bit more open, and you can see more of the packaging, so you can really tell what you have, how much you have of it. And sometimes you have to reorganize things in different ways just to figure out what works best for you in your household. So now that we're all staying home, I hope this inspired you to tackle your pantry. Alright, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this pantry reorganization. I love the way this looks now. It's a little bit different, but I think everything is so much more accessible. I can see all the food and there's room to spare, so that's really important. When you're reorganizing your pantry, make sure that you leave room to actually go grocery shopping and add more to your space. So this area right here is for sure my favorite. I love that you can just take a snack bar and more just come through, so it's kind of like a little vending machine, and you can see how much more extra space we gain just by taking things out of the package and putting them in clear containers. So definitely consider taking out all those boxes next time you're organizing your pantry. If you enjoyed watching, definitely give this video a big thumbs up and hit that that like button. And if you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Click the red subscribe button down below and make sure you guys have your notifications turned on so you never miss an upcoming video. I hope you guys are staying safe and staying home. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.